watch review of the Casio G-Shock Frogman Ref Gw-8230Nt-4Er, the 30th anniversary edition. G'day guys, and welcome back to the Time Bomb channel. Hope all is good in your part of the world. And we are going red ball in the centre pocket today. Just while I'm opening the box, somebody did ask me the other day what I was using here. This is a Mazarin Scout. Not a bad little piece of steel from our Italian cousins. So, well, let's just have a look here, make sure we've got. That's it, should be enough, he says, optimistically. Little fan, no, yes, no, yes. 1 second. Yeah, there we go. Errol Flynn is not particularly proud of that entrance, but moving on swiftly, let's get all the paper junk out of the way. Here is our box and other bits and pieces. So this particular model, as I say, there's your reference number. It was released a while back, but for some reason as a limited edition. This one hasn't seemingly sold out. If you guys have got any views as to why that might be, I'll be really happy to hear it. But I think as a consequence, that makes it a little bit of a bargain. So you've got all your bump in here, which you didn't come to see. It's almost a papal red. Is it? Papal red? Is that inappropriate? I'm going to get banned from YouTube for saying something like that. Let's lift the flap and crack on. So this one just opens here. Very odd opening. You get some greaseproof paper to do your cooking with. All right, odd again. And then really within the bag, nothing else in the box. But yeah, lots of branding everywhere. Just to remind you, in case you were forgetting, this sack seems to be made out of the monk's underwear, like Hessian type thing, her suit. But that's what we came to look at. Gorgeous in red. Dang, that is very, 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 very sexy indeed. I kind of think that everyone needs one weird watch in their watch collection, and I think the Frogman might just be that one. Let me just zoom in there so we can get a little closer. Yes, indeed. A fine looking watch indeed. This is a genuine unboxing on the Time Bomb channel. Normally, I'm not able to resist the temptation, and I've got them out of the bag even before I even got anywhere close to filming. So yeah, first views. Love the matte finishing on the red resin there. Really very, very nice indeed. Just before I get into the specs though, there's another thing that I wanted to mention. I think you'll agree that the image of the Frogman conjures up many a historic and modern day reference. We've got everything from the German camp swimmers, the SEALs, the SPS, and many other countries, hard as nails, fit as fuck, war fighters. Not many of us get that good at things in life, so most of us have to put up with, you know, the option of a paddy dive course, and off we go. Back in, I think it was 2000, Casio released this version of the, it was the Gw-8230Nt, and this sort of newer version then kind of is the anniversary of that one. Personally, I worked as a dive master in Grand Cayman many moons ago, and the G-Shock Frogman was one of the first ISO dive watches that I ever owned, and if my facts are right, I think it was also G-Shock's first ISO 6425 certified watch. But please do fact check me even. Yeah, anyway. So as you can see in my hands, this is quite a big lump. The specs is it's 52 by 50 and a very, very proud 18 mils deep. But just look at that curvature on there. I don't care how deep it is. Oh dear. It weighs in though only 84 grams again, so it is not a heavy piece at all. Clearly the titanium case elements, as you can see from the picture here, keeping it very, very sensible. Let's just put it up against the Mudmaster, and as you can see, the Mudmaster is a true monster. This is the GWG 1000. It weighs a hell of a lot more, and yeah, far bigger. So I think just to put things into context, this one isn't that big at all, so don't be put off by the stats. We've got our humble old Casio down here as well, the 10-year illuminator again, so you can see that big face there. It's not big, this watch isn't big, sorry. On wrist, let me just throw it on the wrist. I'm going to keep that tag on because I wanted to talk about it in a second. On wrist, it feels, oh my gosh, delicious. As I say, there's something just about that beautiful curvature off the top of the case there that makes it, God damn it. My plan was, okay, the best laid plans of mice and men. My plan was to buy this and put it on Fleabay to try and raise some funds for some more watches. But the more I'm looking at it now, the more I'm thinking, God damn it, that is going to be very hard indeed. Moving on then, so swiftly, unlike the Mudmaster over here, the crystal up top on the Frogman is a mineral glass only. I'm not sure what the argument here is, if that is because it's done specifically so that it is non-shatter, or is it cost cutting. The watch module in here, if I'm not mistaken, we should have it down there somewhere, yeah, is the 3521. So heaps of very exciting functions. It's solar, brilliant. You've got tide monitoring, which you can see, sorry you can't see that because my finger's in the way, just at the top there you've got the tide monitoring and the moon phases. Also, you then have a heap of dive times and logs. I think it's up to 10 dives, I believe. And then so obviously your surface intervals, chronos, calendars, multiple alarms, yada yada. The only thing that I don't think that this one has is I don't think it's atomic. So yes, just as this cartoon reminded me, I saw this the other day and it made me chuckle. As I say, out of the box, the finishing on the top there of that mat is brilliant. Really very nice indeed. This is a bio resin, meaning that it won't last as long as previous resins that they've used. And notice here as well, you've kind of got like a rippled textured back of the strap. Again, that is to help liquid shift and keep the watch comfortable. Again, looking at the case back here, so you've got that lovely engraving of our little G-Shock Frog, 30th anniversary Frogman. Obviously, anniversary didn't fit on there, so you've just got Frog. Look, as you can see on here, this one made in Japan. Let me just check that I'm getting that right. I can't see through the camera. Yes, indeed. My understanding is correct. Yes, all Frogmans are made in Japan, so they kind of keep the sexy ones to themselves. It's a bit like the South Africans with their wine. They keep the best stuff down there. The little frog, of course, I don't know if we'll be able to see it in this light, so I'll shove up a shot here. No, you can't see it at all. On the backlight, the LED backlight features again that super classic G-Shock Frog. It's very nerdy and very cool, and in the dark you can guarantee you're going to be looking at it heaps. Obviously, being the solar, it then features that power saving function, again meaning longevity in large frog-like amounts. Does this one leave you croaking yet? Okay, shut up, Bombardier. Let's keep going. Other aspects on the watch to note as well. So the buttons here are just feature a slight hatching across the top. No, they don't. They're entirely polished. That's just me looking through the camera. So they're entirely polished, but they are of such a brilliant size that you will have no issues at all with pressability. I was going to say, the other thing to notice then is these very excessive shrouds that you have on the other side. Obviously, then this is your mode button down here, so that one is protected to keep you, to keep things running straight. Obviously, this one then you've got your log and shift and light, etc. So yeah, with that, if you're diving, for example, you might need access to that with a glove, whereas the shroud wouldn't help at all. And again, as I say, these ones there just protecting it from mispresses, and also if you're wearing it on your left wrist, so that if it comes back onto your wrist for whatever reason, or your dive suit, you're not getting a misfire. What else was I going to pick up on? Yeah, so again, looking through the camera there, so you can see just on the right hand side next to the one with the date, you've got the power reserve indicator there. On the previous versions it was a graph. You've now got the letters, so I think it's an H, an M. I don't know what the bottom one is. Is it an E for empty or L for low? Let me know if you know. I've not seen it yet. Looking at it again, and I'm looking at it through the camera, but even when I was looking at it earlier, one thing that I dislike automatically about the dial, and that is the position of the day under that the function subdial there that you've got at the 10:30. It really does obscure the day quite a lot. Now, as you can see at the bottom, they've got quite a lot of real estate between the date, the time digits. But as you see, then you've got sort of, you know, functions that it's going to indicate down there. So again, if you're that fussed about it, you know, you really need to know what day it is, then bear that in mind. I mean, you can still see what day it is, so it isn't going to be too much of an issue. But again, I'm flagging it because it's very, very obvious. I gave the specs earlier as well. I wasn't completely committed to those specs because the north to south on this one, again, I think is slightly untrue, because you've got, what can we call these things? Pre-curved lug strap-ins. I don't know, for want of a better description, they extend quite a long way out. They do articulate a little bit that way, but they don't that way. So as you can see there, it really does hold the watch quite wide. And I'm thinking that there is an over the sleeve design aspect to that choice. So again, so it's designed to sit on your wrist over a sleeve. But yeah, again, bear that in mind let me just show you what I mean on wrist here. He says, dropping it. Don't drop it, it's too beautiful. You can see there's a little bit of fresh air underneath. Now that, for example, on a hot day is going to be fantastic, and I don't have it completely cinched. But yeah, I mean, even if I pull it down onto my wrist, you can still see there's a big gappage there. So again, I'm thinking that that's got a very clear design ethos, rationale, motive. Yeah, you get the picture. I think the other day I was talking about G-Shocks becoming a little bit too streamlined, and I was complaining about the newer models because this is why I hate what they're doing with those streamlining step counter watches. This is an asymmetrical oddity, and I think this is where the brand excels. No other watch manufacturers, you know, put together watches like this. Citizen, perhaps, you know, with their, the Pingo that I have, you have that slight protrusion there, but very few look as good and as iconic as this one. I don't get also why G-Shock then felt the need to introduce the analog version of this. I'll put it up here so you can just compare it. I think that on the dial of the analog, it's cluttered, it's confusing. That little sub-dial second time I think is a little bit of a waste. But I haven't used that analog watch in the water, so maybe that's where the watch comes into its own. Again, please share your thoughts and experiences if you've used it. On the other hand, the Frogman range then offers up an absolute whole heap of beastly manifestations, which is probably going to have you scratching your noggin as to which one you're going to pick. You've got everything from silly pink to rainbow toads, to clears, more subtle blacks, to royal navies, and everything in between. So if you're looking for something that is more durable and more frog-like, yet perhaps not as related to humans as a Xenopus, then this might have your boxes ticked. As I say, brilliant looking watch. I mean, I saw the pictures of it and I thought that's going to look interesting. In hand, got it out the box, and I've fallen absolutely in love with it. Yeah, paper red, it's delicious. Very sexy indeed. Anyway, look forward to reading your comments and thoughts down below as always, guys. Thanks for your time and for your view, and we'll catch you all in the next watch vid. Cheers, guys.